Hello guys, welcome back once again in the another video of React Native. So in this video we will talk about what is useEffect and how we can use the useEffect in React Native. So actually a useEffect is a React.js hook and we usually use in the React Native also. So all the features of the useEffect hook we can use in the React.js, we can also use in the React Native. So in this lecture we will discuss all about the useEffect and how we can use in the React Native with different ways. So we will implement in this lecture. So let's start. So first of all, what is useEffect? So useEffect actually allow us to perform side effect in functional component. So it means that useEffect we can only use in the functional component. In the class component we cannot use the useEffect hook. So side effect here means that include things like data fetching from the server side with help of the API, any subscriptions or updating any UI component. So all these things called side effect. So when we perform these type of operations, so we can use in the functional component useEffect. So in the React Native class component, side effects were typically handled in lifecycle methods. Basically, in the class component, we don't use the useEffect hook. We use the lifecycle methods like component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount. So all these are the lifecycle methods, and I have already created a separate lecture on these topics and given the link in the description box. So if you want to watch my previous video of the life cycle, so you can also watch. So all these are the uses of the useEffect we mostly use with the useEffect. So we can use useEffect without blank array. Second case, we can use the useEffect with a blank array. We can use the useEffect with state. You can use the useEffect with multiple useEffect, and we can also use the useEffect with props. So all these are the cases where we mostly use the useEffect hook. So all these cases we will implement one by one. So we have already run our application and we are using here a button and we are displaying the count we have declared here as a useState hook, and here number is also a useState hook we have declared inside the functional component, and we are displaying here a number and a count. So when we run the application on the simulator, so our screen is looking like this. So when I'm clicking on the count click, so here count will be increased, and when I am click on the add click, so add click will be increased, because in the add click I am increasing the increment of 5 and here I am giving the increment of 1. So it is not a matter, you can give any increment here. So now I am declaring here a useEffect. So first of all, useEffect should be included in the React library. So I have already added here a useEffect. So I can use directly here. So inside this bracket we will just add another bracket, arrow function, and like this we declare the useEffect. So here I am not adding any array, so I am just console here and just adding here case 1. So now just I save this and run the application again. So when I reload the application, so the useEffect case 1 is here is printed. So again I click on the count click. So again the useEffect case 1 is printed here. So when I click on the add click, so again the useEffect case 1 is running. So every time when I'm clicking on any button, so you can see here the useEffect is called again and again every time when I'm clicking on any button. So when I reload the application, then the useEffect is calling. When I'm clicking on any button, then the useEffect case 1 is calling. So this is the case 1, because here I am using the useEffect without a array. So if I add here a blank array, so what will be happen? Suppose I am adding here a blank array. So if you add here a blank array, so it means that useEffect will be called only once. Suppose I just save this. So this is called, and when I am clicking on any button, so you can see here it is not calling. But when you reload the application, then useEffect will be called only a single time. Then useEffect is called, but the next time when you click on any button, then it will not call. So this is the second case. But suppose you want that this useEffect should be called when I am changing a count. So you can add here the count inside this array, and you can save this again. For understanding, suppose I am using here a all cases. So this case is a without array, and this case is a with blank array. So this is the case 2, and this case is case 3, because in the case 3 we can use the useEffect with the state variable. So here in the case 3 I am using a count. Now I save this, and you can see here, so the first time when I save and reload the application, so the all cases is run, but again I click on the count click. So you can see here only a 1 and the 3 case is running, because 1 will be called in every case, and 2 will not be called because 2 is called only a single time. Suppose I comment this code, and now just save this. So here 2 and 3, the 2 cases is run when I reload the application, but when I count, so only a 3 will be run. So only useEffect 3 is calling. When I'm clicking on the add, so not any case is running, because I added here only a count. Suppose you want to add here a num also, so you can add this in this array. So if you want that your useEffect should be run when you change the count or a number, both, so you can add the both inside this array. And now you will count, then the 3 will be called, and when you click on the add, then the 3 will be called. So in this case, the 3 will be called in both cases. So the fourth case was that useEffect we can use in multiple cases. Yes, definitely we can use different useEffect in the single functional component. Suppose you want that your API should be fetched in this useEffect, so you can use this useEffect for the fetching the server API. And another useEffect you can use here is that in this useEffect you can add another functionality, that when you click something, then the another functionality should be run, so you can add here. So different useEffect in the single application you can use. So another case, you can update your UI based on the props. So for this you need another functional component. Suppose I am adding here another functional component. Suppose I am just copy and paste, and here I am adding a different name. And suppose this functional component we use inside here. And here is a count, and here is a num, and inside the count you can add here a count, and inside the num you can pass here a num. And these props we can now use here. here we are not using any button. We just display here a props. We can add here that this use effect should be run when here is the props.count. So when you update the count in the previous screen, so this use effect will be called is based on the use effect. So you can call here a single use effect, or you can use here a different props. Suppose here you can use here a props.num. So this is the, suppose I am adding here a case props.count, and this is the case for the props.num. So when you update the count in the previous screen, so this use effect will be called, and when you update num in the previous screen, then this use effect will be called. So this is just a component we are using here. So I am just save all the changes and check on the simulator. So when you reload the application, so the both props is called here. Suppose when I am clicking on the count, so only props.count and case 3 is running, because case 3 in the previous screen in the functional component, so case 3 is run when you change anything in the count and num. So in the both cases useEffect 3 is calling. So here you can see the case 3 useEffect is calling and case props.count in the next screen is calling. So you can see every time props.count and case 3 useEffect in the both screen is running, and when you click on the add click, so the props.num useEffect is calling. So like this you can use the useEffect with different ways. So if you have any doubt, any query regarding to the useEffect, please let me know in the comment section. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.